Welcome. Today we're going to talk about why I moved back to Obsidian. Lots of people asked why I left, and the shortest version is that mobile app was terrible and was not going to be what I needed as a iPad preferred person. No longer iPad first because of work, but iPad preferred person. Before we dive into all the rest of this though, a few ways you can support the channel. Number one is to become a patron, patreon.com/CurtisMcHale. Number two is to take one of my courses. If you're watching this, you're probably most interested in my Zettelkasten course. There's a link to that in the notes below. Or you can go to Skillshare and via curtismchale.ca/Skillshare, where I just get some money for you getting an account and then go find my courses. Other ways to support the channel, we stream. For the summers, it'll be 6 a.m. Pacific, Fridays. And you can join me there. You can ask questions about whatever. I'll talk about bikes if you really want, but productivity, research, stuff like that. That's it. Let's buckle up and talk about why I moved back to Obsidian. So, why did I move back? So, the first thing to talk about is why I left, probably. And I never would have left if the iPad OS, the iOS version of Obsidian, was what we have now. The truth is, it just wasn't. It was going to be a viewer app. It was going to be one where you could just look at your documents, not one that you could do full research, full editing, full work on. I do most of my writing and research on my iPad. That's my preferred computing platform. My M1 MacBook Air literally almost never leaves my desk. The only reason I got a MacBook Air is because I am planning to buy whatever the next one is, two in short succession, graduate this Air down to my wife, and yeah, because I got kids that are gonna need homework computers. So then they'll get her older Air. And then they have two computers to do for homework, a laptop and a desktop, which should be fine for many years. That's the reason I got the laptop, but it almost never leaves my desk. Almost never, because it just doesn't need to. So now on Obsidian iPad OS, iOS, you have a full-fledged mobile application that really works. Almost every plugin works. It just works. So I love it. That is my preferred computing platform, is my iPad. As soon as they released the mobile application that was going to be what we have today, that is going to be amazing, I started to at least wonder if I should be moving back to Obsidian. Now, I always believe that there has to be a strong benefit for it, and there was no strong benefit. Like, oh, this will be so much better if I move to Obsidian. At least at that point. So I didn't. I stayed with Craft. So what are the strong benefits? That's the next question. What are the strong benefits? So back in February, my job changed. I now run a web development team for a company called Markentum, and I just don't have to do task management for clients anymore. So I didn't need a robust task manager, which means I dropped it. That's always really a good time to really look at your systems too when you have a big life change like that, right? So changing jobs, changing locations, something like that. That's a good time. Getting kids, kids moving out. Good time to change your task management systems, any of your systems, and evaluate them because your life has changed. Your needs have changed. So with this life change, things 3 just didn't fit anymore. It was okay to manage my content. I mean, I even had a few shortcuts for it. Let's see if I can show you. I had a few shortcuts for it, right? So if I go to shortcuts, and I should have a things 3. I had a bunch of shortcuts for it. I had end the day in things, a new task, a pack project, some of the parent council, show tags, GoDaddy, right? If I was going to do a GoDaddy writing project. I don't see my content calendar. So this one actually looked at what was in drafts most recently edited, put it in a calendar based on whether it was a Monday or a Friday. So I had a bunch invested in that, but it just wasn't what I needed anymore. It just really wasn't. It was too heavy for it. What I really wanted was a Kanban board, and that's what I have now in Obsidian, right? So this is one of the things that I really needed in Obsidian. I have my Kanban board for my content. When I really started looking back and doing my Kanban board in my content here, like we see in Obsidian, what I found is I really wanted to be linking to other notes that were in Craft at the time, and I just couldn't because they were in a different application. So once I came down to that decision, I knew that really that was it. I had put the Kanban board in there and said, this is good. I tried out daily notes, and I didn't really use daily notes before now, although I do now. I hadn't really used them before, but once I really started using daily notes, and once I started writing for sure, I said, I just need all my notes in there. That was it. That was the thing that did it. And then starting to look at the other applications, the other plugins, checklists, those are just benefits on top. of what I had in Craft, but it was really just needing to write and needing to link my notes to other things. So writing and linking, that's it. The other big thing I have loved now that I'm back in here is Aliases. Let's actually show you my, well, it's iPad. Let's actually show you my screen share. So I go to community, it's a research dashboard. This is an alias. Community building is in here, so I can also link to community building. Let's just cut that and do it this way instead so that I'm uniform. I've done a video on aliases. I will link to that in the show notes. So being able to do aliases was a big thing that was awesome for me. I love that I can do aliases. I love that I can do right even. Smoking is one, and cigarettes, cigarette, and tobacco all go in there. So if I'm going to link to any of those, that's great. If I looked at my Craft database, you can even see, right? I have some disabled seizure, epilepsy. Like those are probably two, seizure and epilepsy are two things that can go together. And there's lots of things in here that I found that I really wanted them to go together, even though they couldn't, even though they just couldn't, because there's no aliases in here, which is unfortunate. Yeah, which is just unfortunate. And I really wish that there was. Now, what do I miss in Craft? Craft is a far more visual application, right? If we head back to Craft, we can see even my all documents. I did a couple weeks ago, I did like a, hey, maybe you can use Craft for a Kanban board and you can drag things back and forth and have a Kanban system. That's good, right? We can even come in here. We can edit my card. I can say, actually, I want large cards, really large cards, and apply. Now I have a large card. It's a lot more visual. Dragging in images, all these other things are a lot more visual. And just, if you're that way of thinking, if that way of thinking really goes with what you want, then by all means. Conversely, we have, you know, just raw markdown. If I open up the Data Detective review, so the review that you'll be coming up with, like this is a lot more code heavy for people that look at code. This can make more sense for sure. This can definitely make more sense. Now, the other thing I also left was agenda. I've been using agenda for just daily notes in meetings, really in my meetings notes. And so what I do now instead, I don't have a meeting today. Well, I have a stream. I counted that as a meeting. Is I'll just go to the day out of calendar. And so I know, I'm not going to show you this because it'll be a work note. On the 12th, I have meetings at work. And I have notes already there for the 12th that I need to talk about in specific meetings. I just give them their time, and then I go through my meeting. I'd use that in agenda. Now, Craft actually does that really well as well. If I go to my new daily notes, and let's say, well, today I already have, today, yeah, I do have a daily note for this. Why doesn't it show me daily note? There you go, Craft daily note. Drag it out, and I can take a note literally on my daughter swimming. It'd be easy to do, and it gives you the page, right? So this doesn't actually show up in my whole database at all. So this. I could still link to it if I really wanted to, but it doesn't show up as like as a single file in a view like my inbox or anything. So that's really nice when you do that, right? You can see what is my web accessibility. This is a course I'm taking from LinkedIn Learning. And you can see like I can have this file, the first course, my notes on it, and then my summary is separate. So I can really go through and like summarize. And if I really want to go back later, I can dig into this note to find my exact notes. That is a really nice thing about Craft, that it actually does that for you. So the big question is, should you move to? And I'm going to say no, probably not. Unless you have a solid reasoning that one tool is better over the other, that it's just absolutely by far the better option. There is no question that you need to have that. So when I looked at my content calendar and started writing and said, oh, I just want to link notes, I have more ideas that I don't link. I'd have to switch back and forth between applications to really make those links. Once I got to that point, I said, I can't. Like this is just too much work, and this is limiting what I can do with my writing. And I had tried building some Kanban boards in Craft, and it just was not working the same way. So that is it. Craft is better if you're visually oriented. I love to write Markdown. I read and write code all day, so Obsidian doesn't feel like a hurdle in that respect at all. that's really it. That's why I moved back to Obsidian from Craft. The Obsidian app became good for mobile. And then I started hit a strong like limiting factor where I wanted to write in it because of the Kanban board view, and I couldn't link the notes with the new ideas I had. So that's it. If you liked the video, thumbs up. If you loved it, you can subscribe, hit the bell, all that stuff. YouTube will let you know stuff happened, and you can come watch my videos. That'd be nice. Join me Fridays for the summer at 6 a.m. streaming. You can become a patron, patreon.com/CurtisMcHale if you can. If you can't, don't worry about it. You can take one of my courses. There's links to all those below. Where are they? They're at Skillshare. That's where they are. That's Skillshare. And you can go directly there, create an account. I get some affiliate fees for it at curtismchale.ca/Skillshare. That's it. Have a good day. Oh, you can join me streaming. I'm just going to answer those questions now. Ciao.